After everything I said in the first video, a lot of you are probably coming into this expecting to learn about the paleo diet. This is what many people will most associate with primal living, and so it makes sense rather to address the elephant in the room first. What is the paleo diet? What's the general idea behind it? Does it work? Which elements should you adopt or ignore? Let's answer all of those things. The main concept behind the paleo diet is that it is a diet designed to closely mimic the diet we would have eaten during our evolution. You've already learned that we were designed to eat foods we would have found in the wild during this period, and so it makes sense on the face of it to replace our diet with that kind of food. However, it's important not to get too carried away with taking things literally. One common criticism of the paleo diet is that it doesn't really refer to the Paleolithic diet. The complaint is rather missing the point. Paleo is just a cool name. What it's really about is trying to eat more naturally and more healthily. So, if you're not getting too caught up with the specifics, you can simply apply this one very general rule to eat a paleo-like diet. If a caveman couldn't eat it, neither can you. This means you're going to ditch the Doritos and can the soda cans. It also means, if you're being strict, no bread, no milk, and no oatmeal. Now, this is where common sense needs to come in, but for now we're looking at applying a strict paleo diet. Paleos eat meats, fish, nuts, greens, vegetables, seeds, fruits, and anything else they could forage or hunt. And they completely leave out the pasta, cereal, and burgers. The good news, though, is that you don't actually have to hunt or forage for any of this food, though that's an option. And actually, you shouldn't have too much problem finding these foods at all. Why? Because paleo is super popular right now. That means you can find all kinds of organic, natural, whole food stores, and any of them will provide you with all the nutritious snacks you could possibly need. So, what might a typical paleo diet look like? Well, here's a typical meal plan. For breakfast, you could have a scrambled egg and freshly squeezed orange juice. For lunch, you could have tuna salad with leaves. Dinner could be liver with sweet potato fries, fried in coconut oil, and vegetables. Dessert would be a honey nut bar. Okay, so hopefully you're starting to get the picture. The next question is whether it works, whether you should adopt it, and how it can be adapted into a healthy and practical lifestyle. Let's start by looking at the good. And really, there is a lot of good here. Because what's so crucial is that you're getting a nutrient-dense diet. And I mean really nutrient-dense. Every time you eat fruit, vegetables, nuts, protein, or anything else, you're getting a plethora of amino acids, vitamins, minerals, and more. And as we've already discussed, the body was designed to thrive on these elements. In fact, this is what the body is actually made out of. We'll see later on that vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and more can help you to increase muscle mass, fat loss, sleep, energy, even your IQ. That's because your muscles, your brain, your metabolism, all of it is controlled and regulated by the foods we would get in our diet naturally. You're going to see more of this in the next videos, but for now, rest assured, this is good stuff. Think of it like power-ups in a computer game. In the wild, you'd have explored different levels and found these power-ups to +1 your health, +1 your strength, or +1 your IQ. Those who are really serious about eating a fully paleo diet will often tend to consume a large amount of organ meat. The logic here is that in the wild, this is once again what we would have eaten the most of. Think about it. If you were a primitive caveman and you've just killed an antelope, you'd eat the whole thing. You wouldn't leave the heart, the kidneys, or the liver because they didn't look as appealing. And actually, this is where the densest nutrition is to be found. Eating brain provides us with tons of things like fatty acids, vitamins and minerals and amino acids. and it's amazing for our brains. Why? Because animal brains are made of largely the same stuff that ours are. And as organs are much more complex and important than foot, this is where the really good stuff goes. Now compare this with what most of us are eating in our so-called modern diet. Nothing but processed foods, sugars, and other empty calories. When you drink cola, you consume just as many calories, which will be stored as fat, but you don't get anything useful that the body can use for different functions. The same goes for cakes, for burgers, for overly processed chicken nuggets, for French fries, for syrups, for pancakes, and especially goes for low-fat diet food. Low-fat diet foods actually remove the nutritious elements and are the equivalent of eating cardboard. So if this is what you're living off of, then that means that your body isn't getting what it needs to thrive. Soon you'll see your skin looking less healthy, you'll feel tired and stressed, your hair might get thinner, and you'll be forced to deal with brain fog. You can keep yourself alive on nothing but chips, energy bars, and soda drinks because they provide calories and a very small amount of nutrition to use as building blocks. But it's like running a car on the wrong type of fuel, and your body is eventually going to start to struggle. Eating a paleo diet is a massive step in the right direction then. Eat a paleo-like diet and you'll be consuming far fewer empty calories, and you'll be getting tons of nutrition that will help your body function better in every regard. And it even goes further than this. To understand just how powerful nutrition is, consider that eating organ meat will help you get things like coenzyme Q10 and creatine. These are expensive supplements that are consumed by athletes at the highest level. They help us think sharper, burn more calories, run for longer, and you can get them entirely naturally from your diet. Likewise, many of the nutrients you can get from a paleo diet are things that you can buy as nootropics. Now, these are the smart drugs that are being consumed by the top CEOs and investors to give them a cognitive edge. But you can get all of this from your food. And it makes sense. Remember, we were designed to eat this food.